In the vast, sun-scorched plains of the African savanna, a drama unfolds, a tale of raw power and indomitable spirit. On one side, the king himself, the lion, majestic, commanding, a predator with few equals. On the other, a creature far smaller but no less fearsome, the honey badger, or as locals call it, the ratel, a walking tank with a temper as legendary as its toughness. Two animals, two different worlds. One explosive question: who's the toughest of them all? You might think this is a ridiculous matchup. How could a creature barely the size of a dog stand up to the mighty lion? But hold that thought, because when it comes to courage, resilience, and pure stubborn tenacity, the honey badger is in a league of its own. Today, we'll dive into the wildest facts, explore shocking encounters, and even imagine a world where both animals were the same size. The results might surprise you, so settle in, hit that subscribe button, and let's begin. Let's start with the numbers. The lion, undeniably powerful. It can weigh up to 550 pounds. That's a quarter ton of muscle, bone, and raw instinct. It can leap forward with crushing force, has claws sharper than razors, and a roar that echoes across the plains. The lion is not just a hunter, it's a ruler. It commands the savanna with pride, both literally and figuratively. The honey badger? A different story. It's smaller, much smaller. At only 20 to 35 pounds, it seems like it shouldn't even be in the same conversation. But nature has armed it with something the lion doesn't need: invincibility through tenacity. The honey badger's skin is thick, rubbery, and nearly impossible to puncture. Even when predators get a hold of it, this little beast can twist, turn, and launch a counterattack from within its own skin. It's like grappling a bar of soap coated in knives. Its claws aren't just sharp, they're powerful tools, digging through hard-packed earth, ripping open hives, climbing trees, and yes, slashing at anything foolish enough to corner it. And its jaw, let's just say it doesn't give up. There are reports of honey badgers cracking open tortoise shells and biting clean through snake vertebrae. It doesn't just bite, it demolishes. Now, if you think being small makes it easy prey for a lion, think again. The honey badger is not afraid of the lion. In fact, many have been observed turning to face off against lions 2, even 3 times their size. And here's the kicker: they don't back down, they growl, they charge, they bite and claw and spray a foul-smelling liquid that sends even apex predators into a brief panic. The lion, of course, is not easily intimidated. With a bite force of 600 psi, one swat from its paw could flatten a gazelle or crush the skull of a hyena. Lions are methodical hunters, ambushers. They work in groups, they isolate prey, and they kill with ruthless precision. But here's where things get spicy. Lions don't like getting injured. Even a small wound can become deadly in the wild. A clawed eye, a gashed paw, infection, impaired movement, it all matters. That's why lions often avoid animals that fight dirty or fight to the death. And honey badgers, they fight like there's nothing to lose. So what happens when these two collide? It's not a fight of equals. A lion clearly has the advantage in size and power, but it's not about that. It's about how hard it is to defeat the honey badger. You don't just kill it, you survive its rage. Many lions have been seen walking away from honey badger confrontations, not because they're scared, but because it's not worth it. Too much risk, too little reward. It's like trying to eat a cactus full of explosives. Even more fascinating is the idea that if the honey badger were lion-sized, it could be unstoppable. With its jaw, strength scaled up, thicker armor, and refusal to retreat, it could become a nightmare for any predator, even a lion. So in a realistic scenario, the lion wins. But it doesn't win easily, and it never wins cleanly. The honey badger makes you earn every inch. Now, let's explore their worlds, their territories, behaviors, and what truly makes them kings in their own domains. The lion is a creature of open savannas, grasslands, and sparse woodlands. Its life is defined by heat, dust, and dominance. Lions live in prides, social units that include a few males, several lionesses, and their cubs. But don't be fooled by the peaceful image of lions lounging under trees. Behind that serenity lies a brutal code. Males must constantly defend their rule. When another male challenges them, it's a fight to the finish. If the challenger wins, he takes over the pride and kills the cubs of the previous male to start his own bloodline. It's survival of the fiercest. The lioness, though smaller, plays no lesser role. She's the huntress, the provider, the heartbeat of the pride. Working together, lionesses execute ambushes, chase down prey, and take down animals far bigger than themselves. Zebras, wildebeest, even giraffes. Their power lies not only in strength, but in cooperation, strategy, and patience. Now let's shift the scene to the honey badger's world, a more solitary, chaotic realm. The honey badger doesn't work in teams. It doesn't need a pride. It walks alone, by choice. Males patrol vast territories up to 27 kilometers a day. They dig their own dens or steal them. They don't care. They go where they want. And when another honey badger appears, the first instinct isn't to socialize, it's to growl, puff up, and fight. Their habitats vary: deserts, savannas, forests. Dry or green, it doesn't matter. As long as there are creatures to eat, trees to climb, and enemies to fight, the honey badger will make it home. And then there's its taste in food. This creature doesn't just hunt, it hunts with style. Snakes, delicious, scorpions, crunchy snacks, beehives, no problem. The honey badger willingly endures hundreds of bee stings just to feast on larvae. It's been filmed taking on cobras, being bitten, collapsing unconscious, only to wake up an hour later and finish the meal. That's not luck. That's biological resistance to some of the deadliest venoms on Earth. It's this recklessness, this invincibility, that makes the honey badger such an outlier. It doesn't seek battles, but it doesn't run from them either. When it sees food, it goes. When it's challenged, it fights. And when it's bitten or slashed, it simply doesn't care. Meanwhile, the lion, as dominant as it is still vulnerable. It relies on strength, but it also relies on caution. Lions calculate, they weigh the risk. They prefer prey they can control. Anything too unpredictable, not worth the trouble. That's why honey badgers, despite being tiny, often get a free pass. But imagine this. What if we removed the size difference? What if the honey badger was scaled up to match the lion, pound for pound, inch for inch? A terrifying thought. Now we'd be dealing with a 500-pound honey badger, with the same thick armor-like skin, with claws the size of kitchen knives, with a bite that could rival any big cat, and most dangerously, a mentality that never yields. In that scenario, brute force wouldn't be enough. The lion's tactics would be tested like never before. It would face an enemy that doesn't respect size, doesn't fear death, and fights until its last breath. Who wins then? Hard to say. Maybe nobody. Maybe it's mutual destruction. Because when nature meets unrelenting will, the lines blur between predator and prey. What we do know is this: the lion rules with power. The honey badger rules with madness. And in the wild, madness often wins. Now, let's set the scene. The air is dry. The golden grass ripples under the heat of an African sun. A lion, muscles rippling, eyes sharp, steps into a clearing. He's not hunting, he's wandering, curious. A slight breeze carries a smell, sharp, foul, unforgettable, and from the scrub it emerges, small, low to the ground, black with a gray mantle like a war cloak. The honey badger. The lion narrows his eyes. This isn't food, but it's in his space. And the honey badger? It doesn't run, it doesn't hide. It stands its ground, its body lowers, its claws dig into the earth, its lips curl back, revealing sharp yellow teeth. Its growl isn't loud, but it's deep, like thunder trapped in a cave. The lion steps forward, tail flicking. He roars, the badger charges, and just like that, it begins. The lion lunges, swiping with a paw, powerful enough to snap a buffalo's spine. The badger ducks low and spins, those loose folds of skin giving it room to turn, twist, and sink its teeth into the lion's leg. The lion growls in surprise. It wasn't expecting pain. He strikes again. This time the paw lands, slamming the honey badger into the dirt. Dust flies. The ground trembles. For a second, it looks over. But then the badger rises, bleeding, limping, growling louder. It lunges again, claws raking across the lion's chest, jaws snapping for the throat. The lion rears back, stunned not by the damage, but by the audacity. This thing doesn't stop. Eventually, after more swipes, more blows, the lion wins. He pins the honey badger down and delivers a fatal bite to the back of the neck. But he doesn't walk away proud. He limps, he bleeds, and he doesn't roar. He walks off slowly, glancing back, not in fear, but in respect. because even kings must recognize warriors. And the honey badger, it may have lost, but it never surrendered. That, my friends, is what makes it one of the toughest creatures alive. And this isn't just fiction. Rangers and biologists have observed real interactions like these. Lions have been seen giving up mid-fight, not because they couldn't win, but because the cost was too high. A honey badger isn't a meal, it's a bad decision. In Kruger National Park, South Africa, a young male lion once attacked a honey badger near a watering hole. What followed was 10 minutes of chaos, biting, clawing, charging. The lion finally walked away with a torn lip and a shredded paw. The honey badger, though wounded, simply disappeared into the brush. That's the story across the continent. Time and time again, honey badgers stand tall against leopards, hyenas, even humans. So who wins? If you're measuring by size, power, and dominance, sure, the lion. But if you're measuring by heart, resilience, and sheer stubborn refusal to die, the honey badger walks away with its head high. It may be small, but it's mighty. It may be alone, but it never backs down. And in a world where survival favors the bold, the reckless, and the wild, sometimes being a little crazy is the best defense of all. So tell us in the comments, which animal impressed you more? The majestic lion or the unstoppable honey badger? And if you love battles like this one, don't forget to subscribe to Super Stubborn Animal for more wild, real, and mind-blowing matchups. Until next time, stay curious, stay fierce, and remember, never underestimate the little guy.